If we've learned anything from this past year, it's that pickleball continues to become faster. And if you don't increase your hand speed and have specific strategies of what to do when you're in a hands battle, you're not gonna have fast enough hands to keep up with your competition. So these are my 5 strategies to winning 99% of hands battles that you're in. Let's open the playbook. Number 1, I actually learned this tip from pro Thomas Wilson, and he easily has some of the fastest hands in all of pickleball. The tip that he taught me is to speed up and shift. So what this means is that you're gonna shift your body weight to one side or the other directly after you speed up the ball. And where you shift to is dependent upon what side of the court you're currently on. For example, if you're on the left side of the court and you speed up directly in front of you, you're going to shift towards the left and then open your paddle face towards your forehand side if you're righty or your backhand side if you're lefty. This is because whenever you speed up directly in front of you, the ball tends to come back directly to you. So if you stay in the same exact spot that you just sped up from, the ball's gonna come directly to this inside hip area, and it's gonna put us in this chicken wing position, which is extremely uncomfortable. And then you're gonna be automatically in a defensive position. And this is what I see so often with amateur players, is that they'll speed up the ball and then they'll just stay exactly where they're at. And so that ball will come back. It tends to come back directly where it was just sped up from. Now they hit this shot, they pop the ball up, and then the point is instantly over. So instead, you're speeding up, you're shifting to the side of the court that you're on, and then you're opening your paddle face towards the side of your paddle that's closest to the middle of the court. So if I'm on the left side of the court and I speed up, I'm gonna open it up to my forehand since I'm a righty player. If I was on the right side of the court, I would speed up and then open my paddle face towards my backhand because that's the side of my paddle that's closest to the middle of the court. You can also speed up and shift in the opposite direction if you're more comfortable countering on that side. So for example, if I'm on the left side of the court and I'm more comfortable countering with a backhand, I can speed up that ball, shift towards the middle, and then have it towards my backhand side because I'm more comfortable on that side. The most important thing is that you're not staying in direct alignment with where you just sped up the ball, because that will always get you in trouble. And that's where it gets a bit tricky, because there's not always a perfect hands battle where you're going to speed up and shift in the same direction every single time. And that's where we get into strategy number 2, which is to err on the side of your paddle that you're most comfortable with. So if you're most comfortable hitting a forehand, hit a forehand. If you're most comfortable hitting a backhand, hit a backhand. And if all else fails, practice and focus on getting on that backhand side, because with a backhand, you have way more reach than you do with a forehand. When you're hitting a backhand, you can obviously get everything to your non-dominant side very easily. You can get everything on your body very easily, and you can even cover most of your dominant side with that backhand. The only tricky part is up here at the shoulder. That's where you'd want to be able to hit a forehand, so hopefully you can make that switch really quick. I like countering more actually on the forehand side, even though it can get me into trouble, especially if I'm here and it comes at my body. But if you do that shift, 99% of the time you're going to be absolutely fine, as long as you're shifting out of the way of direct alignment with where you just sped up the ball. Number 3 is to drill with the pros. Nothing has increased my hand speed more while doing the same drills that the pros do while learning directly from them. The very best way to play like a pro is to train like them. If you want to train like the pros and have access to all of the drills that they specifically use, you need to check out the Pickleball Drills app. It has hundreds of different drills taught by the pros, and new drills are consistently uploaded to keep your drilling sessions fresh and exciting. It has drills for literally every shot, whether you want to work on your drops, your drives, your dinks, or your volleys. Obviously, specifically for this video, you'd want to go to the volley drills section or the wall drills section. Those are going to be best for helping you increase your hand speed. And what else is nice is that each drill in the app is according to your skill level. So whether you're a beginner or a pro, it has drills for everyone. You can start your 7-day free trial of the Pickleball Drills app by going to pballdrills.app on any browser, or by clicking the link in the top pinned comment of this video below. This is an app that I created because of what an impact drilling and drilling the right way has had on my game and continues to have every single day. So I hope you absolutely love it, and I can promise you that as you apply the drills and the coaching that you're taught by the pros inside of this app, you'll become a better pickleball player faster than you ever thought possible. Number 4 is that the first player to hit down almost always wins the point. This is one of those tips that's fairly obvious, but it's easier said than done. So often people will be in a hands battle and they're trying to outpower their opponents. So they're trying to get the ball on their opponents as quickly as possible without any strategy in mind. your main strategy should be to get the ball to the feet of your opponents. So obviously the best way to get that ball down and not try to outpower your opponent, but instead place it strategically so that they won't be able to hit the ball back, is to angle your paddle face down. And you need to be holding the correct grip to be comfortable doing that. If I were to hold a grip like this, obviously this is gonna favor hitting my forehand down, but as soon as they hit it to my backhand side, that's extremely awkward, and I'm not gonna have a lot of power to hit the ball down, nor a lot of angle to hit the ball down without seriously injuring myself. So the grip that I like to use is an Eastern forehand grip. And I'll stay in that grip 100% of the time. Not all players do that. I specifically do because I favor, as I talked about before in the video, hitting a forehand counter. That's way more comfortable for me. So majority of my shots that I'm gonna hit, I want it to be on that forehand side if possible. So just to quickly show you guys, this is what an Eastern forehand grip looks like. As you can see, this knuckle is in direct alignment with the face of my paddle. So that's comfortable for me. If I just cock my wrist inwards, I'm able to get my paddle face down still on the backhand side. Typically, if I'm gonna hit a backhand counter, I'm gonna try to get 2 hands on that paddle. That way I can manipulate my paddle downwards with this non-dominant hand. Now the typical grip that majority of players need to start with is actually called continental, and it looks like this, to where your paddle is directly straight up and down or vertical, because it's gonna allow you to be able to counter easily on that backhand side and the forehand side comfortably while still hitting the ball down. And that grip essentially looks like this. Okay, now this knuckle is on this second bevel over here. As you can see, there's 8 total bevels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's on this second bevel. Right here, I'm gonna put that index knuckle, and that's going to put my paddle directly vertical so that countering is extremely easy. This is exactly how I started pickleball, with this continental grip, and then I slowly changed to favoring that forehand because I hit majority forehands. So remember that the player that wins majority of points is gonna be the first player to hit downwards on the ball. So make sure that you're not holding some crazy grip just because it's comfortable for you. The only way that you can hit down on the ball and hit down on the ball consistently is if you have the correct grip. So choose between those 2 grips, figure out what kind of player you are. If you favor countering on the backhand side, I'd strongly suggest using continental. If you favor countering on the forehand side, I'd strongly suggest using that Eastern forehand grip. And that brings us to number 5, which is to move back if the ball goes high and to move forward if the ball goes low. So building off of number 4, if I hit the ball downwards at my opponent's feet, it's not gonna make any sense for me to back up. Obviously, players don't do that. They aren't automatically gonna back up. The problem is when the ball goes high and you pop the ball up, players stick their feet in cement and they don't move. So it's gonna be really easy for your opponents to not only get the ball on you really fast, but also get it at your feet. As soon as you see that the ball goes up in a hands battle, you need to take a step back and split step, and then you're gonna get as low as possible, because their entire goal is going to be to hit that ball down at your feet. So you wanna give yourself as much time as possible to stay in that hands battle and hopefully gain the upper hand and hit down on the ball. So I'm on the kitchen line, I'm in a hands battle with my opponents. I pop the ball up instantly. As soon as I recognize that that ball is going high, I take a step back, maybe even a couple of steps back if I have the time. And then what's essential is that I'm going to split step as soon as they make contact with the ball. That split step is where I'm just simply splitting my feet apart like this, and I'm stopping my momentum while bending my knees and getting low. And I want to specifically get my paddle low towards the ground. If my opponent's hit to my paddle and it's up here, that ball has to go out. So there's no point in having my paddle up here because their ball is going to go out. Instead, I want to have my paddle low where they can hit to on the court. This should be something that's done in unison, and I see it all the time where one player will recognize that their ball went high, but they won't communicate that to their partner to also back up with them and split step. So as soon as you recognize that that ball is high, you're gonna say, get back to your partner so that they know. A lot of players will instead just be like, expect their partners to know to get back, but they're not necessarily the ones hitting the shot. So that partner communication is gonna be essential. And then you both are gonna be moving back together. If instead one partner stays up, that's the easy target. So they're obviously gonna hit to that partner. So that is my 5 strategies to winning 99% of hands battles. Be sure to check out this video right here if you wanna continue to improve your pickleball game, and I'll see you over there.